Does a Scrum Master help identify what skills are needed in a team? And if so, how do they go about that? Well, that's a bit of a tricky question because yes, they likely would. But it's not really the core of their role. So what we're looking to is the team as a whole, the Scrum team, but particularly the developers, to recognise the skills that they need to solve the problem in front of them, create the value for the customer. And a Scrum Master's involvement in that is going to vary wildly. They could be inside that conversation, talking about it, recognising that the team need a stronger hand. The team need to come up with the answer. It's not on the Scrum Master, it's not on them solely. But they may fall in that camp of saying, well, they're not talking about this. They need a steer to recognise there's new skills needed. There's a new type of work coming up. So creating the environment to have that conversation and really nudging people to start noticing it. So you may see them asking almost leading questions about what are the skills we need to solve this? Do we have those skills within the team? And if not, how are we going to get them in? But ultimately it's going to come down to that team. Even if we're taking a strong hand, with a more mature team, with a team that understands what it's doing, it may be a very, very light touch part of the conversation, part of the role, in that as a Scrum Master, I've had it with teams where they've recognised, no prompt for me, in fact I likely couldn't have recognised. They've noticed that the role is changing, that the skills needed within the team are shifting, so they have said we need it. So I think the short answer is no. Okay, it's not on the Scrum Master to identify the skills, but it's a nuanced no, in that it's not their responsibility. Okay, the developers need to understand they're the experts on solving the problem, so they need to recognise when their skill sets aren't sufficient. A Scrum Master's role then is not in recognising it, but in helping the team create an environment, create a process maybe, whereby they naturally recognise it and can deal with it before it becomes a problem. Because once it becomes a problem, now the Scrum Master is going to help them not only resolve that, but also make sure it doesn't come back, likely by creating a process or something. It might just be as part of your refinement that you just ask, do we have all the skills to get this done? It doesn't have to be difficult, it doesn't have to be onerous, but as a Scrum Master, we're not going to make that decision. All we're going to do is set it up so that the team have the right conversation at the right time so that they can make that decision. If you've got to this point in the video, I hope you've enjoyed it. If so, a like would be appreciated. If you want to hear more from me, more answers to questions that maybe you've got in the Agile world, please subscribe to the channel. And if you've got a question that you really want answered, drop it in the comments. I promise we'll get around to it. Thank you.